Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely flip the script on how you understand your daily cravings, those random mid-afternoon energy crashes, and even your mood swings. We're zooming right into the fascinating science of the gut-brain axis to figure out what is really pulling the strings inside your body.
Think about this for a second. Have you ever promised yourself, okay, that's it, I'm done with junk food, maybe sworn off pizza or sweets, only to find yourself reaching for a bag of chips an hour later like you're completely on autopilot? It's so frustrating, right? It really makes you wonder, who is actually in control here? Is it just zero willpower, or is there something else going on entirely?
Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll uncover the hidden second brain. Second, we'll look at habits that heal. And third, we'll break down the 21-day habit strategy.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the hidden second brain, looking specifically at the gut microbiome.
To really get this, we've got to talk about the trillions, yes, trillions with a T, of bacteria, fungi, and viruses hanging out inside you. That's your gut microbiome. And sadly, our modern lifestyles have totally wrecked this internal ecosystem. But understanding it is step one. Dr. Powell has this amazing analogy for the gut-brain connection. He says the gut constantly sends signals to the brain, like a WhatsApp chat in real time. I just love that. Your stomach and your mind are literally texting each other 24/7. So when you get that nervous pit in your stomach or an intense, out-of-nowhere craving, that's not all in your head. That is literal biological communication happening in real time.
And the impact of that constant chatter is absolutely huge. Get a load of this number, 90%. If you're feeling sluggish, unmotivated, or just kind of down, it might not be a mental block at all. A massive 90% of your serotonin, that crucial neurotransmitter that regulates your mood and tells your brain to feel happy, is actually produced right down there in your gut. Your gut is literally your body's happiness factory. If that factory is damaged, your mental health takes a direct hit.
So all this communication creates a total turf war inside you. In one corner, you've got the good bacteria. These are your ultimate defenders. They digest your food, pump out vital vitamins, and get this, since 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, they're the ones keeping you from getting sick. But in the other corner, we have the bad bacteria. These troublemakers trigger inflammation and mess with your digestion. But the absolute worst part, they manipulate your brain. They act like a biological honey trap, literally pulling your brain's strings, making you crave sugar and ultra-processed junk just so they can survive and multiply. So, that sudden urge for a donut, there's a good chance that's not you lacking discipline. It's just your bad gut bugs screaming for their food.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, habits that heal the gut. Let's talk about how we can actually fuel those good bacteria. This starts with a concept that might completely flip how you look at healthy eating. It's called plant points. See, just eating the exact same safe vegetable like spinach every single day, it's just not going to cut it. Your trillions of good bacteria have wildly different appetites. To build a tough, resilient microbiome, you absolutely need variety. That's why Dr. Paul recommends tracking plant points, where every single different plant food you eat, veggies, fruits, nuts, seeds, counts as 1 point. You want to aim for about 4 to 5 points a day, which works out to roughly 25 to 30 different plants a week, just to make sure the whole ecosystem gets fed.
Your ultimate gut healing toolkit basically comes down to 3 main pillars. First up, fiber. We're talking whole grains, lentils, unpeeled fruits. Fiber is the main energy source for your microbes. If you're skimping on fiber, you are literally starving the good guys. Next is the rainbow diet. Greens, reds, purples, yellows. These aren't just pretty colors. They represent different compounds that feed totally different types of bacteria. Oh, and definitely don't shy away from darker or bitter foods either. Finally, we've got fermented foods. Think curd, buttermilk, traditional pickles. These are incredible because they don't just feed the bacteria you already have. They actually drop brand new, live, beneficial microbes right into your system.
Let's make this super actionable with some simple, completely shame-free daily swaps. Try keeping the skins on your fruits and veggies whenever you can, because that's exactly where the best fiber lives. Swap out those refined grains for whole grains. And honestly, this next one is a game changer. Instead of keeping highly refined packaged snacks around the house, leave nuts and fruits right out in the open where you can easily grab them. Maybe add a little scoop of curd to your daily meals too. These are tiny, consistent tweaks, but over time, they naturally reduce your reliance on those ultra-processed foods that quietly wreck your good bacteria.
All right, bringing us to Section 3, the 21-day habit strategy. It's time to talk about rewiring that brain of yours.
Because let's be real, all this information is totally useless if we don't actually execute on it. But here's the thing. Your brain is not a Tesla. You can't just flip a switch from autopilot to manual mode and expect your body to flawlessly stick to some strict new diet. If you just rely on brute force willpower,
or severely punish yourself every time you slip, your brain is going to fight back. It hates that pressure, and eventually it'll just force you to quit entirely. What you actually need is a gentle habit software update, a totally new behavioral operating system that feels natural and, most importantly, flexible.
Dr. Powell sums this up so perfectly. He says, we are not just building habits, we are building the habit of habits. I mean, how brilliant is that? That right there is the absolute magic of this strategy. We are entirely removing that crushing guilt of having to be perfect. Instead, we're gently teaching our brain's operating system how to comfortably ease into new routines over time, without ever feeling trapped or overwhelmed.
So here's what this looks like on a super low-pressure 21-day timeline. On day 1, you kick things off with maybe 6 daily gut-friendly habits, stuff like getting 7 hours of sleep, having a veggie with every meal, or taking a 30-minute walk. Now, around day 10, you're probably going to slip up. And guess what? That is perfectly fine. You're going to use that exact moment to rewire your brain by replacing the junk craving with a tiny micro-habit. I'll show you exactly how to do that in a sec. Then, on day 21, you just stop. No more adding pressure. You simply look back, observe which habits naturally stuck around like good friends, and you just let go of the ones that felt too forced.
This is where it gets really clever. Out of all your daily gut habits, you only actually aim to hit, say, 4 out of 5. You literally build in a permitted miss. You are intentionally giving yourself permission to skip one habit every single day. Why? Because the second a habit doesn't feel like this high-stakes, do-or-die pressure, your brain instantly lowers its defenses and actually accepts the routine. You're training yourself to just show up, even when it isn't 100% perfect.
Okay, but what about when you inevitably do slip up? Say you're zoning out watching TV and suddenly you've crushed half a bag of chips. Here's your game plan. Step 1, just notice the slip up. Step 2, skip the guilt completely. Toss it out the window. Guilt is absolutely useless and just keeps you stuck. Step 3, do a micro-healthy habit immediately. If you ate the chips, right after, go eat 3 almonds, or take a 2-minute walk, or have a single spoonful of yogurt. This is such a brilliant rewiring hack. You're basically confusing your brain by physically linking a bad habit directly to a healthy action. It totally shatters that old habit loop, and you don't even have to use any exhausting willpower. Over time, that overwhelming urge to eat the chips just naturally fades away. So, if you take away absolutely nothing else from this explainer, let it be this. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is the goal. Your gut heals through tiny, sustainable changes. And please, remember to actively reward your brain for those small victories. If you actually finish eating dinner on time, reward yourself. Watch that extra episode of your favorite show. Giving yourself that positive reinforcement makes your brain genuinely want to do the habit again tomorrow.
Now that you know exactly how your gut is secretly pulling the strings on your mood, your energy, and those random cravings, and you've got this totally guilt-free, science-backed strategy to fix it, I want to leave you with one final thought. Which single gut-healing micro-habit are you going to choose to start healing your second brain today? Remember, once you heal your gut, absolutely everything else changes. The choice is yours. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, happy habit building.